Hey everybody, let me talk in this video about public and or global and local variable. Global variable means the variable that could access from any place. So that means if I define some variable here as a global, that means I could access to it from here or from here. Let me suppose I have double for pi equal 3.5. Because it's public, so it's really easy, I could call it from this method. I say, okay, this one is, for example, double in new pi equal the old pi multiplied by 4. That's mean, okay, I could access to this pi even it is not in my block because it's public. In same way, I could call it from any other method. For example, this method, I could call it okay without any problem. But if you see now, I have this problem here for static because we know this method is static. So if the method is static, should call any other method should be static, or the double also should be, or the any public variable should be static. So if I change it to static here, I fix the problem. But what I want to tell you, if you define anything here, that means this one will, in this area, this means this one will be global. So you could access to it from any method. If you see, I could access to pi from here or from here. Just remove the static for now. But if you see, I have here variable, so this one will be a global. If you see, I have here variable, name it float. This float, it is local. Why local? Because this block will when I call the method, this variable will defined or will create in the memory. Whenever return value, that means this block execution will done, this variable will go from memory. We'll be using garbage collection. If you see, if I want to access to this variable from here, I cannot. If I say new or float, a new float or a new sum equal sum, you cannot access to it. You say error. Who is sum? What do you mean by sum? Because sum is not public. Sum only defined here. So whenever you want to anything defined inside any block for loop, block for function, that's mean local. So see, this one is local variable inside this block. This one global because I could access to it from any place. One thing missed. So what we mean if I add static? What I mean by static? Static mean I have one copy from this variable. So whenever people create number of instances from this class, they still have one copy from static. We will talk again about static in a real life example when we go to classes and how we do it. So it says this is the basic thing. This is what mean by global and this is what mean by local. So for exercise, if I define here for integer I equal 0, then I less than 10, then I plus plus. If I define here sum integer sum equal sum plus 1. So it will not work this one because I have to be initialized first, or sum equal I. So what this one mean? This mean is local. So if you try to access to sum from here, you cannot. If you say SYSO for sum, you cannot access to it because it is local inside this block. When this block done, this sum done. So to fix this problem, you will take this sum and you define it up, and you just remove this one. That's mean okay, this is not inside the block, so I could access to it from here or from here. Make sure to initialize so it will not be in a problem. This is the basic example I could show to you, and thank you for watching and see you next.